beautiful shot.
When I come back to Liverpool, it feels like I'm coming home. I still come up here now and they treat me like one of their own. Anfield holds wonderful memories, but for me, it's the people that matter. That's why my view embodies not only this city's great past, but also its great people. My view is about more than 3 graceful buildings. It's about what they stand for: maritime might, immigration and popular culture. Influences that have shaped all our lives. And I believe that's why right here we can find Britain's favourite view. To understand why this skyline means so much, we have to know what made it. Liverpool was once the greatest port in the world. By the 1960s, 8 miles of docks stretched along the Liverpool foreshore, employing 33,000 people. What has the docks given Liverpool, Brian?
Well, the first thing, it's given an international reputation long before the Beatles were here. And the whole world came to Liverpool docks with its produce, and we put the produce out from here.
Over 30 million tonnes of cargo pass through this port every year.
Even now, I suppose, you could go any port in the world, look at the back of a ship, well, that one's Hong Kong, but you will see Liverpool on the stern end of the ship, and it gives you a sort of sense of where you belong.
Liverpool's maritime history started here in the heart of town. 3 centuries ago, this was the pool of Liverpool, a tidal creek that gave the city its name. However, by 1700, that creek was silting up. Something urgent had to be done. Now archaeologists have uncovered the amazing secret of what became Liverpool's maritime success.
Right, welcome. We've now just gone back 300 years. Welcome to the old dock. This simple brick wall may not seem enormous, but this is the first closed wet dock in the world. 1715, almost 300 years old, and yet this wall was the birthplace of Liverpool. From this point, the maritime history was founded.
The world's first dock cut and load in time from 12 days to just 1.5. Trade boomed, and within a century, Liverpool boasted a huge dock system.
It basically ended up that Liverpool became one of the biggest ports, not only in Britain, but in the world.
And it's amazing, Joe, we're literally going through Liverpool's Albert Dock in an old sailing ship.
I know, it's fantastic, but I don't think you get anything like the atmosphere of the bustle you would actually have had. But in the heyday, any of these docks would have had upwards 100, 200 boats moored or actually being unloaded. And when you consider all of something like 20 or 30 odd docks that are constructing all the way along, you begin to get some idea about how much vibrancy there was coming out of this maritime trade.
Do you think that they used to come in and go to Costa Coffee?
I don't think they probably went to Costa Coffee.
Liverpool traded with all corners of the globe. One maritime business was especially lucrative. Between 1700 and 1807, thousands of ships sailed to Africa and transported slaves to the Americas. Here they were sold in exchange for luxury goods like cotton and sugar, which is brought back to Britain. This was how the slave trade worked. Eric, how important is slavery to Liverpool?
Liverpool was built on slavery. Without the slave trade, Liverpool would not be the city that it is today.
Many Liverpool merchants profited from the slave trade until abolition in 1807.
When I look at these buildings, they were built by the blood and bones of Africans. People should never ask when were they built. They should ask where the money came from.
Liverpool ships had transported 1.5 million African slaves across the Atlantic. A few were even sold here. For sale immediately, one stout Negro young fellow, about 20 years old. He'd been employed for 12 months on a border ship. And it says, Eric, for sale.
Yeah, many of them would be brought by the seamen themselves, even ship's captains. So slaves did come to Liverpool, not in the same way that they went into the Caribbean or into the Americas, not in the same numbers, but nevertheless, slaves did arrive in Britain.
By the 1900s, Liverpool was one of the biggest ports in the world. Enormous wealth and prestige came to the city. It's this legacy that is represented by the iconic buildings on Liverpool's pierhead.
These are the three graces,
And these buildings are all symbolic of the mercantile might of Liverpool. Now, this is the Port of Liverpool building, and this is my...
This cathedral of commerce was home to the Mersey Docks and Harbour Board.
I mean, you go in and then just look at that fantastic dome.
Wow.
You know, it's almost as good as St. Paul's or anything in Florence or Rome. This is the Cunard building, and this was for the Cunard shipping line, of course.
Sure.
Probably the most famous shipping line in the world. Staggering, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Fantastic building. Beautiful marbled halls which reflected the beauty of the great ships, which are really inspired by many of the beautiful buildings in Liverpool.
It's easy to imagine what it would have been like as a first-class passenger back in the 30s.
You'd arrive in your carriage, come in with your passport, and then it would seamlessly be ushered through to the ship.
Liverpool was probably the greatest emigration port in world history. Between 1830 and 1930, more than 9 million people passed through this gateway in search of a better life. As they left port, many would have gazed up at the most important symbol of the city, the liver birds.
Now, the liver buildings, the academics said it was ridiculous. How can you build something like this? Huge building with 2 birds on the top.
Fitted a fiddle as well.
This building was made so that people could relate to it, particularly seafarers coming in. A bird is very important to seafarers.
And it's almost embracing the whole city. It looks like it's protecting the city.
It is. I think you actually hit the nail on the head there. This is what it is. It's an embrace by the wings.
Tradition has it that if they ever fly away, Liverpool will cease to exist.
As I stand here now, the view is just staggering. This has got to be one of the best views I've seen in Liverpool so far.
Liverpool's location as a maritime gateway has brought in cultural influences from all over the world.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you something.
This has resulted in perhaps its most important legacy, its music.
Say that something.
We've got the same jacket on, the same boots. That's a look at it.
The Cavern Club opened in 1957 and the Beatles first played here in 1960. Beatlemania was a direct result of transatlantic influence with a Liverpool twist.
Well, we're in the Cavern. This is the birthplace of Liverpool music, you know, Mersey beat. In 2 years, the Beatles played here nearly 300 times.
What is it about Liverpool that's just created so much music over the years?
I think there are 2 things that really make that happen. One is the fact it's a port, so people were always coming and going. But the other thing is it's got a really small city centre, as you know.
Sure.
So you always meet the people from the previous generation, like I know guys from the Mersey beats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I also know the Zootons and the Coral, because you run into them in the street, you can't escape each other.
50 years on, with its accent and attitude, there's something about this city that inspires musicians to sing about it.
Heart as big as Liverpool.
I wrote a song called Heart as Big as Liverpool because I wanted to celebrate the city. I mean, if you had to pick a defining characteristic of Liverpool, I think it is heart. I think it's a city that's passionate and it gets excited. But it's a real buzz to play on that stage, knowing the history that's come through there, that John, Paul, George and Ringo, but all those other great groups. It's fantastic.
No, it's great, and fantastic voice, and it was lovely watching you and listening to you. Pete,
Thank you, big man.
Thank you very much.
It's a real honour.
For your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
So much of the music of Liverpool seems to belong to the city. And it's no surprise that Jerry Marsden even wrote a song about the ferry that has crossed the Mersey for over 700 years. It's from this boat that perhaps the best view of Liverpool can be seen.
I wish I could have done this when I was 17 years of age. I've learnt more in 2 days than what I did in my 12 years at Liverpool about what Liverpool was, what it's become. It's been a fantastic journey for me.
This spectacular seafront speaks to me of centuries of maritime trade, the hopes and dreams of countless emigrants, and a cultural window on the world.
This view stands for more than pride and passion of a city. It stands for pride and passion of a nation. And that's why I believe that Liverpool should be Britain's favourite view.